before we get to the video, guys, just want to give everyone a huge thank you for all the love you guys are showing us, all the comments, all the subs, all the likes. We hit 69 this week.
Hell yeah.
Big milestone. Next, we're going for 100. You could be listening to any idiot on the internet with a mic in front of them, but you chose to listen to us, and we appreciate that.
We're sending you a virtual hug. If you have any trade questions or start-sit questions, leave a comment. Justin or myself will definitely respond, or maybe even both of us will respond.
If you like the video, drop us a like, comment, sub. You know the drill.
Welcome to A Tribe Called Fantasy with your hosts, Greg and Justin.
Check the description for players that just didn't make the list this week, and leave us a comment if we forgot anyone on the list. At 36 this week, we have Joshua Kelly going against the New York Jets. If you've started Joshua Kelly, you have been so disappointed for, I guess maybe not every single week, but most of the weeks. 7 touches, 21 yards. You're not loving Joshua Kelly. We're not loving Joshua Kelly. He barely made our list. He has a great matchup against the Jets. There have been a bunch of injuries in that backfield. Kalen Ballage is now looking to be the lead back, which is crazy. So going up against his former team. But Joshua Kelly, kind of been inconsistent. He's definitely an RB2 in his role. Not even for fantasy football.
Yeah,
though.
probably like an RB6.
Yeah.
He gets goal line carries.
Yeah, so you're definitely hoping for a touchdown. Occasionally he'll get involved in the passing game.
Yeah,
They're definitely going to be running the ball against the Jets more this game, I would say.
I would agree. At 35, we got Jonathon Taylor taking on the Packers, another incredibly disappointing player. He has just been underperforming every single week. Last week, Nyheim Hines seemed to get the bulk of the work. Jonathon Taylor only managed 24% of snaps compared to Nyheim Hines' 56%. He still did get a couple looks in the red zone. I do expect him to continue that. So another touchdown scalper that might win you your week if you have no one to play.
He definitely has the opportunity to at least get fed the rock if he has a hot hand.
I agree.
So you always have a shot at 20 touches with Jonathon Taylor at any given point, but so does every other Colts running back. So it's just kind of taking a shot out of those three. Jonathon Taylor did have more snaps than Jordan Wilkins. Did you say that already?
Yes.
Okay. So it's just like a matter of who the feature back is that week.
It was very close, though.
Yeah.
It was like 4 more.
Yeah. At 34, we have Le'Veon Bell. You might find Le'Veon Bell on your waivers. If Le'Veon Bell is on the waivers, are you scooping him up or are you just leaving him there for someone else?
I think you definitely scoop him up because if Clyde Edwards-Helaire goes down, I think Le'Veon Bell's an instant starter.
Yeah.
RB2 at least. I don't feel great about playing him. It is almost – it's like a 60-40 role, but Le'Veon just hasn't produced with his touches.
Yeah, and we had that bye week, so we don't even know what another week of Le'Veon Bell in that offense looks like. So it's really kind of shooting in the dark on the Chiefs running backs heading into week 11. We do know, however, that he has a really good matchup against the Raiders, who are one of the worst defenses just in general, pass or run. So maybe he'll have some opportunity to run out the clock against the Raiders. They were pretty competitive with the Raiders last time they played, and the Raiders came out on top. But it was a competitive game. I expect this to be a competitive game, or maybe the Chiefs just kind of go out there and just try and dishearten them with their plethora of weapons they have at their disposal, Le'Veon Bell being one of them.
Yeah, I think your Raiders fan bias is clouding your judgment on this one. There's no way they lose to the Raiders twice. The Raiders are about to get buried.
Last time I said there's no way the Raiders won.
Well, I'll double down on the no way they're losing twice.
Yeah, I honestly.
Fool me
I would
can't get
agree.
fooled again.
I think that the Raiders gave them their only loss. I don't know. So I feel like they'll be coming out with a vengeance.
I do believe you are correct. Okay, and up next at 33, we have Darrell Henderson taking on a very tough Bucs defense. The Bucs bounced back very nicely against that ass beating they took against the Saints. It's real tough here to pick who's the best, who's the first, who's the second, who's the third, because it's the three-man backfield and in the truest form. Looking at the snap count last week, let's take a look here. Darrell Henderson had 33% of the snaps, which was second on the team, but also had 7 carries, which was second on the team. Cam Akers had 10. Malcolm Brown had 6. It's tough to say. He had the second most average yards at 4. He had a touchdown. They all look very average. If you have to start one of them, I'm sorry for you. This matchup is also not good, but he does put in work and he gets touchdowns. And you've seen that he can be the lead back. Is he going to be the lead back? It's that question you're asking yourself every single week.
At 32, we have Leonard Fournette, another split backfield work. This one almost feels a little more frustrating, though. It's so hard to guess who's going to get the work between Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. This past week, it was Ronald Jones who had 23 carries to Leonard Fournette's 8 carries for 19 yards, 2 catches for 11 yards. So he didn't even get that passing work that's kind of given him value in the previous few weeks.
Bruce Arians promised us, bro.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup against the Rams.
Which might help him in a sense. They might have to pass a lot.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's definitely a hot hand approach when it comes to this backfield as well. And it's close to impossible to predict. But after coming off of a good week, we like Ronald Jones a little over Leonard Fournette this week.
Yeah, I think the addition of Antonio Brown fully integrated into the offense has just lessened the short yardage work for Leonard Fournette, because it's like, why would you throw to him when you can throw 6 yards to AB, who you know is going to catch it and then bust off a nice little run after, when Leonard Fournette's kind of got the drops.
Yeah.
At 31, I have the honor of taking one of the other Rams running backs, Malcolm Brown, also taking on the Bucs. He had the least amount of carries with 6, 2 touchdowns. It's really tough to say. I think the only reason that we're putting him ahead of any of the other ones is because he outsnapped the running backs. He had 41% compared to Darrell Henderson's 33 and Cam Akers' 26. Malcolm Brown has done this week in and week out. You think he's the guy, and then he disappears. He gets 2 carries. So hopefully this is not the case again. More touchdowns. That's what you're hoping for. Godspeed if you have to start a Rams running back.
Yeah, you got a 50-50 shot each week. I don't think Cam Akers is much of a factor, but
10 carries. So, I mean,
still, it's definitely something to consider, but it's those two that.
Yeah. If you are a Malcolm Brown owner or a Darrell Henderson owner, I would go look at all the other 3 running backs, see what the coaches are saying, see if they're leaning one way more than the other. That might give you an indication of what you should do that week, because it's a shit show.
At 30, we have Devontae Booker. Wow, are the Raiders in a split backfield? Josh Jacobs had 21 carries. Devontae Booker had 16 for 2 touchdowns. They actually both had 2 touchdowns. No, don't fool yourself. Devontae Booker is not going to eat into Josh Jacobs' work. The Raiders were absolutely destroying the Broncos. Devontae Booker got cleanup duty just so that they could give Josh Jacobs a break. He does look really good when he's running, though. And like I mentioned, Josh Jacobs does have injuries that he deals with. So it's definitely an interesting handcuff or maybe even a solid flex play moving forward, just with the amount of efficiency he's had the past couple of weeks, giving you 2 double-digit fantasy weeks. Matchup against the Chiefs, it'll be interesting to see how they use him.
Up next at 29, we got Rex Burkhead taking on the Texans. He's been on the roll still. He's kind of taken James White's spot, honestly, which I used to be a James White owner, dropped him. I don't think there's a place for him anymore. He did only play 34% of the snaps, which doesn't sound that great, but for the New England backfield, that's about as good as you're going to get, other than Damien Harris. They do throw in Jacob Johnson a lot, but I think he's more of their blocking back. So if they need some short yardage or some passing down work, they lean on Rex Burkhead. That little white boy can fly. And I think he's a good start this week, honestly. The Texans' defense is terrible. They just let up 200 yards on the ground. I think he'll get some carries and some targets.
Yeah, I think the Patriots will win this game on the ground. I mean, that's kind of how they want to play anyways, it feels like. At 28, we have Nyheim Hines, who has been the standout in the Colts' backfields the past few weeks. I should say this past week. Had 12 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown, 5 receptions for 45 yards and a touchdown. Nyheim Hines' usage in the passing game is really what's kind of differentiated him over Jordan Wilkins and Jonathon Taylor. His His usage has been inconsistent because of that role, though. But he's looked really good when they're needing him to. I have a question for you. How do I word this? I guess there's no good way to word it.
Spit it out, bro.
I'm trying to
Stop
build up the
stuttering.
suspense. I was gonna ask you.
He's choking.
Does Phillip Rivers have more touchdowns this season or more kids? I guess not this season. Like throughout his career.
More touchdowns or more kids?
Yeah. If you had to guess.
Are we like counting sperm cell kids or like just full on birth children?
Kids that have arms and legs.
Are you asking me to count
not the
arms
potential
and
for
legs?
Arms and legs?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. So more this season?
Yeah.
Well, this is such a fucking weird question. I would say kids.
You're wrong. He has 9 kids, but he has 13 touchdowns. But it's pretty close.
God damn. What a fun stat.
Yeah. Got you, fam.
Fucking A, man.
I might actually be a bit wrong about the touchdowns. He has more touchdowns. I'm pretty sure it's 13. I did like a manual count of them, not like a numbers thing.
you went through his old photos and like individually counting children.
I didn't look up how many kids he had. Yeah, I was looking at photos on Google Images.
Dude, head
and
counts.
referencing. I was like, well, here the kids are older. So this, I don't even know. Do you know a single Phillip Rivers. Do you know a single kid's name?
From Phillip Rivers?
Yeah.
No, I don't give 2 shits about Phillip Rivers.
All right, I was just curious.
Do you?
One of them is Phillip Rivers. I don't know if it's a junior or Phillip Rivers the second. That's a little callback.
All right, that is a little callback. You and your issue with the juniors and the second.
Hey, man, I just can't get over it.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
You done,
Yeah, I'm
bro?
good.
All right, at 27, we got Melvin Gordon taking on the Dolphins. A stout Dolphins defense at that.
Oh, hefty up front.
Yeah, they have been putting in the work these past few weeks.
Defensively?
Defensively.
Yep.
Oh, my God. And the offense has been all right. Special teams has been good, too. But, yeah, we got Melvin Gordon. It's hard to say. He hasn't produced as well as you were hoping for. Only got 11 carries last week, which was better than his previous 2 weeks where he saw 8 and 6 carries. I think that Drew Lock was just getting the shit beat out of him. So I think you're going to see a little bit more of the same this week against the Dolphins. If you are trying to start Melvin Gordon, you should feel better that he is still getting the bulk of the snaps. He had 56%. Phillip Lindsay had 30. Royce Freeman even saw some work at 14. It's really tough, though. It's a gamble play, but it's a real tough season right now. You got bye weeks, you got injuries, so if you have to do it, it's a possibility.
At 26, we have Ronald Jones II. Did you call out Melvin Gordon as the third, or just Melvin Gordon?
Just Melvin Gordon.
All right. At 26, we have Ronald Jones going against the Rams. Not a great matchup. The Rams defense they've been playing lights out the past couple of weeks. But Ronald Jones got the 20-plus carries this past week, busted off a fat touchdown. I'm kind of assuming that solidified his role as the feature back for the day when that happened. That
was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a really good run.
He didn't look that fast because players were catching him, but I was like, well, this dude just took off for 99. So
98?
Oh, sorry. Yes, 98. Thank you.
Get it right. Get it tight.
Yeah, I don't know. It's if Ronald Jones is looking good, they're going to play him. If Leonard Fournette's looking good, they're going to play him. But, yeah, it's hard to kind of go against Ronald Jones after coming off a 23-touch game, I would say.
I completely agree. It is worth noting that they have – when you really watch the games, it does look like they want to utilize him, but then he fumbles, which he fumbled last game, and it looks like they just said, fuck it, we'll just keep going. And he turned his day around, honestly. So hopefully – Bruce Arians is just putting a little bit more trust in him than he has been. I really don't. He's got like 2 or 3 more fumbles in him, though, before he is just actually benched. Like, I can't imagine you fumble 8 times in a season and Bruce Arians is cool with that. Bruce Arians does not play games. But I've been wrong before, so we'll move on. At 25, we got Chase Edmunds taking on the Seahawks. Not the Seahawks of old. Chase Edmunds coming off a pretty solid game. 3 catches, 21 yards, 8 carries, 56 yards. But the real kicker, even with Kenyan Drake back, played 49% of the snaps. I don't know if that was just easing Kenyan Drake back into injury, but when you watch the Cardinals, Chase Edmunds just looks better than Kenyan Drake.
Yeah.
He everything about him looks better. He looks better out of the backfield. He looks more explosive. So I think holding on to Chase Edmunds and starting him every week is now viable. Or obviously you're going to hold on to him if you're starting him, but I definitely hold on to him in an 8-man league or a 10-man league.
I have him and Kenyan Drake in a league, and I'm like, who out of these two do I start?
It's hard too because, old Hail Mary passing Kyler Murray is out here stealing touchdowns.
Yep. Yeah, you got some dip? Can I get some dip too? Damn.
That's what I got to say about that.
Spitting it in shoes, tin cans.
In
Isn't that
yours?
what you spit in tin cans?
I think they're like copper pots.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Bedpans.
Yeah. Just your.
Yo, bring back bedpans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
Where are the bedpans,
Oh,
dog?
my God. Who pays for
A Tribe
plumbing?
Called Fantasy branded bedpans coming in hot.
Oh, we should get urinal cakes.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, for all the people who have urinal. I can't say that.
Actually,
today.
I was in office
Urinals.
today, and in the bathroom stall, someone took the urinal thing and like put it on like the thing that you would hang your backpack off of.
Why?
I don't know.
Where do you work?
Bro, I work at Chuck E. Cheese.
At a Planet Fitness?
Yeah. No, dude, LA Fitness. They got basketball courts.
Yeah, you can't do shit at Planet Fitness. You drop a pen and they like ring an alarm. I think it's an automatic alarm.
Oh shit! Is this real?
This is real. Yeah, I'm not making. I know you've not been in the gym very often.
Facts.
But yeah.
I don't need to.
Yeah, God forbid.
When I bench press cars.
Shut the fuck. God forbid you're actually trying to lift weights though, and you want to just like not break your wrist as you're doing some chest press or something, and they're just gonna hit you with this loud air horn. Let everybody know how much.
Who is there? Like a guy standing on the floor with like a soundboard?
No, I think there used to be in the front. It's called the Lunk Alarm. I'm dead ass.
The Lunk Alarm?
Yeah, Planet Fitness is a place.
It's so similar to Hunk Alarm.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they have a Hunk Alarm?
No. It's just the Lunk Alarm.
Shit.
It's like you being a douche in their mind.
Okay.
But like you're working out. Sometimes you just like got to drop the weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got a 65-pound dumbbell in your hand. You're not gonna gently place it from a strange position. I don't know. This is something I've been holding in for a really long time.
Yeah, man.
I'm super tight about Planet Fitness.
Not fans of Planet Fitness.
On the show. If you go to Planet Fitness, I got no problem with
Go
you.
to a real gym.
That might be the only gym in your area too, but like that shit is ridiculous.
You ever heard of doing push-ups? You ever heard of chopping wood? You know what I mean, man? What's up with all these gyms? Let's get back to basics.
That's why you look like you do.
That's why I look like I'm Wolverine. That's why I look like I'm Rocky and Rocky 4.
Dude, your thigh might be the same diameter as your calf.
My calves are thick as fuck.
Oh, yeah. We can move on.
At 24, we have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. The H is silent. That's according to Fantasy what is that website? Fantasy whatever,
Fantasy
man.
Pro Football Focus.
Pro Football Focus. Thank you.
Wait, they were breaking the news that the H is silent now?
Yeah, man.
I think that everybody knew that. They were saying that in like the second week.
We've literally been calling him Clyde Edwards-Helaire for weeks.
No, that's just you. I went on a whole diatribe about this a couple episodes ago about how Steve Levy calls him Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I'm pretty sure it was you saying Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's why you guys should go back and listen to the old episodes. Let us know who it was. You know what I'm talking about, Justin?
You're a twat. Sometimes you're the worst.
Coaching for views.
Nice.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire definitely in a split backfield role. So temper expectations. You're obviously not expecting him to be a top elite running back, though he does have the talent. The offense is, depending on how the scripting has gone, has ruled him out. Some days Patrick Mahomes has just been balling insane, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire has suffered because of that. But, I mean, to be honest, there's only 1 week where he didn't reach double-digit points. It's just we haven't seen him with Le'Veon Bell enough to know. We have seen him enough to know that he's not a feature back, but we haven't seen it quite enough to know how productive he will be on a regular basis.
At 23, we got Duke Johnson Jr. taking on the Patriots. Not feeling good about Duke Johnson as a runner. He's had this opportunity before last year when Lamar Miller went down. They ended up bringing in other people just because he's not built to be a workhorse back. He's getting all the carries, but he's being he's not productive at all. The offensive line is also terrible, so we'll give him that too. But if he doesn't get a touchdown, he's just not going to get the points you're looking for in a replacement back, like you would say Latavius Murray and Alexander Mattison, something like that, because he just ain't got it like that. He's definitely more of a scat back. He's stepping up in his role, so maybe he'll continue to thrive. David Johnson has been placed on IR with concussion. RIP my fantasy team, but how you feeling about Duke Johnson? I know we've both had Duke Johnson on our fantasy teams in years prior.
Yeah, for those exact reasons, I've avoided Duke Johnson on the waivers. I know that workload is enticing, especially that he has been used in the passing game before. It feels like that they're going to use him in a similar role as David Johnson, but he's not built like David Johnson. He's smaller. He's just not going to be as efficient. We have enough sample size of Duke Johnson to know what he's going to be. He has an opportunity purely because of volume, but other than that, I'm not excited about Duke Johnson.
I feel the same way.
At 22, we have Carlos Hyde. Got the Thursday night matchup against the Cardinals. That should be an awesome game to watch. This ranking is totally contingent on whether Chris Carson is playing or not. It's very up in the air now. It seems a bit more negative in respects to Chris Carson playing, so that's good news for Carlos Hyde. We can fully expect him to take on a full workload when he comes back. They've had no problem giving that volume to rookie running backs. So I think they'd be more than willing to do it with Carlos Hyde, someone that they can trust to hold on to the football. And against the Cardinals defense, that will give him some opportunities to score.
I definitely look at I kind of look at Alex Collins, and I do worry a bit just because he's been on the team before and they know he can be good in red zone usage. So that is something to look out for if he gets his touchdowns poached. At 21, though, we got Antonio Gibson taking on the Bengals. Mr. 2 touchdowns himself. Also came away 4 targets last game, 13 carries, 45 yards. Still not the running back I want out of Washington. I do like the fact that he has the goal line work, but he's not getting those 20 carries he saw in Week 7. The most he's seen other than that is 13. He's seen that 3 times. There are games where he just gets scripted out of it completely, and he might get 6 to 10. So the Bengals defense is not that great. I could see him getting a pretty good workload in the 10 to 12 range, but I'm not huge on Antonio Gibson going forward. I know me and you were talking about Antonio Gibson versus J.D. McKissic. What makes you like Antonio Gibson?
Well, I like not J.D. McKissic. I like Antonio Gibson more purely because he has the ability to handle a 20-carry workload. He's already shown that this year. J.D. McKissic's never going to be that running back. J.D. McKissic's strictly going to be a passing running back, which is definitely a good role for him to have within the offense with Alex Smith, who's definitely playing a bit timid for good reason. So he's going to be checking down to J.D. McKissic. I don't necessarily know that once Alex Smith starts to get cooking, maybe J.D. McKissic's role becomes a little more irrelevant as Alex Smith wants to take deeper shots down the field. I don't know that we necessarily see that. That's purely speculative. I think it's more likely that J.D. McKissic maintains value with Alex Smith at quarterback, kind of having him as a check down. But Antonio Gibson just is a little bit more explosive. He has the goal line opportunities, and he can handle a longer workload. That's why I lean more towards Antonio Gibson, but I think they're both fine running backs.
Does it worry you that last week he had 38% of snaps, and out of the past 4 weeks he has not been over 50% of snaps?
I mean, it's definitely something to note. And I think that Alex Smith at quarterback has to do with that too. Could be playing from behind. I don't actually particularly remember the game scripting of those. But, I mean, I want the running back that's going to get the touches in the red zone. I want the running back that's going to get more touchdowns. I think Antonio Gibson has more opportunities for touchdown over J.D. McKissic.
Fair enough.
Especially, I mean, if it's a non-PPR league, is there even any question which running back you want more?
Ooh.
I'm sure we do have some listeners that are non-PPR.
Yeah, I guess if it's non-PPR, I am going to lean Gibson slightly. I still like the pass passing or the receiving yards that J.D. McKissic gets. But, yeah, I think for the touchdown upside, you go Gibson.
Yeah. At 20, we have Damien Harris. He seems to be the feature, or no, I shouldn't say the feature, the lead running back in the Patriots' backfield. The only issue has really been he just hasn't gotten the touchdowns. Last week, the touchdowns went to Rex Burkhead, as well as the week before, as a matter of fact. Cam Newton's also a threat to steal his touchdowns, too. So, I mean, we also have Sony Michel coming back soon. I think that'll be something to keep an eye on. I don't necessarily know that. I don't know how that's going to factor into Damien Harrison's value moving forward, but it is something to kind of take note of.
He's looked good.
He has looked good. 22 carries for 121 yards, no touchdowns, but, I mean, that's solid.
Yeah.
And you can't ask for more opportunity than that.
The Texans let up 200-plus rushing yards last game.
That's exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah. I think that Damien will continue to get the amount of work he's been getting, which is double-digit carries, 15-plus carries. Passing down usage is non-existent. It kind of feels like how they used to use Sony Michel before he was injured. So
he's getting more work than Sony was. Sony was getting like 10 carries.
I feel like there were a few games where he got a significant amount of carries.
I think there may have been a few. I know one of the games he went crazy. He had 100-plus yards. He did it on like 8 or 9 carries, though.
Damn, that's
so
crazy.
Pretty impressive. At 19, though, we're back. We're back to the Redskins. Oh, the Washington football team.
Woo. What a slip.
Man, old habits die hard. I like J.D. McKissic a lot this week. He's taking on the Bengals. We touched on him in the Antonio Gibson segment. But the reason I'm enjoying me some J.D. McKissic is this snap count. Last week, this is since Alex Smith's been back, only 2 weeks, so smaller sample size, but 83% of the snaps, and this past week, 70% of the snaps. Definitely a little bit of game script because they were coming back. I think they were down 24-3. So really getting that ass beat. Almost came back and won, but it's tough to know if he's going to continue that. But he saw 14 targets last week and 15 targets this week, which is just absurd for a running back. Greg mentioned it earlier. Alex Smith is just scared, so he's checking it down, and you can't be mad at it. He did have 8 carries, only for 6 yards, but he managed to get one of the goal line carries for a touchdown. I'm liking J.D. McKissic going forward. He's personally my favorite back rest of season, but only time will tell.
I think they both have value too. I think that the way that they're used complements each other well.
I agree.
I don't know. If you're listening, let us know in the comments who you like more, J.D. McKissic or Antonio Gibson. At number 18, we have Kenyan Drake going against the Seahawks. Kenyan Drake finally came back from his twisted-looking ankle that really, I guess, wasn't as bad as we all thought. Immediately was back to his bullshit. 16 carries.
Back on my bullshit.
16 carries for 100 yards. 16 carries for 100 yards. 9.9 fantasy points. Had a single catch for 9 yards. Decent amount of yardage. Not getting touchdowns because Kyler Murray's stealing them. So, I mean, Kenyan Drake's going to get a ton of volume. You're just praying for touchdowns, and more often than not, you're not getting them. You're also not really getting efficiency on those carries either. So you're purely playing Kenyan Drake for his volume. He doesn't even Chase Edmunds has more fantasy points than him. So it's like, I don't know. You're chasing volume, I suppose.
Some good water.
Purified.
Purified. At 17, we got Giovanni Bernard taking on the Washington football team. It's a little hard to tell what's going on with Joe Mixon. It's looking like he's not going to play this week. Hopefully he'll be back sooner rather than later if you're the Joe Mixon owner. If you're the Giovanni Bernard owner, congratulations. The mustache is back one more week.
Run it back.
So it seems. He didn't have the greatest game. Samaje Perine saw 25% of the work. He's kind of been used as a – they just use him every once in a while, give Gio a breather. Gio still had 7 targets, though. That makes me feel good about his outlook going forward. He didn't have his best game, only had 8 carries for 30 yards, but they were just getting washed out by the Steelers. I think this week when they take on the Washington football team, it's going to be a bit of a different game script. 2 pretty below average teams, I would say. Definitely below average.
I would say so.
Yeah. So Battle of the Giants.
At number 16, we have Kalen Ballage in a revenge game against the New York Jets. I know we said we weren't going to do this, but I've gone ahead and chosen this player anyway.
What?
As my star player for the week.
What are you talking about?
Kalen Ballage, he was my start player of the week.
He was your start of the week?
My start of the week.
In the video we didn't make?
Yeah, in the video we didn't make.
Nice.
Kalen Ballage was going to be my start of the week. I'm putting my name behind it right now. I love the revenge game narrative against the Jets. It's a horrendous defense. I cannot imagine that this is going to be a competitive game where the Chargers are relying on Justin Herbert to sling him in. They haven't been afraid to give Kalen Ballage the rock. They gave it to him 18 times this past week, 15 times the week before, 69 yards and 68 yards. So pretty nice looking stat line.
Pretty nice.
They've involved him in the passing game a little bit too. So I think Kalen Ballage is a very interesting play against the Jets this week.
You can't be mad at it.
What do you think about my player of the week?
I don't know. I like
You were too unprepared for it.
Fucking you shook me, bro. I mean, I do like him this week a lot against the Jets. That's a cake matchup. I like the idea of him fucking the Jets up even more though. Like I just want to see that personally so Adam Gase can like cry about it.
Yeah.
Because nothing feels better than watching all these former Jet players thrive on better teams. Robbie Anderson, of course that happened because Adam Gase
our boy
is a fucking moron. So
Robbie, why you not call us back, Robbie? We wanted you on the show.
I hit him with the MySpace message, but he never hit me back.
Bro, Robbie ain't been on MySpace for a minute. You know that.
I AOL DM'd him too.
Have you even seen his Snapchat stories recently? He's not even like in place with Wi-Fi. You don't follow him on Snapchat, bro?
No, I don't have Snapchat. What's Snapchat?
Snapchat, it's like it's sort of,
is it kind of like Google?
Yeah, it's kind of like definitely.
Is it like MSN? Is that what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are
you're next?
Oh,
you got the next player.
You're talking about
yeah,
me.
I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I'm good.
All right. At 15, we got a little combo, just because we're pussies. I looked up the phonetics for this, so give me a second. We have
Pro Football Focus.
No, no. I feel like Pro Football Focus is kind of bullshit, to be honest.
Isn't this all kind of bullshit?
No, I put in good work here.
Sports media is all bullshit. That's my theory.
I mean, I agree to an extent. If anybody is sitting there telling you who to play, then yeah, it's bullshit. Like, except
for us, of course.
No, I mean, we're not telling anyone to play. No. We're giving them our opinions and we're making suggestions based off statistics and facts. So you do with it what you will.
I know you listen to a lot of fantasy football YouTube channels. Tell me which YouTube channel specifically you think has the most trash fantasy football opinions.
Dude, I don't listen to any fantasy football. The only one I go to is our the boy Andrew.
Our affiliate?
Yeah, I comment on Andrew's videos just because I watch his Hidden Gems videos.
Andrew's a motherfucking god.
Dude, he is. That's Daddy Kirikov.
Yo.
I don't know if that's how you say his last name, but
I don't know.
Yeah. The fantasy footballers are pretty funny, but I don't watch them anymore.
Yeah, I just don't frequently.
I just don't have the time.
Fair enough.
Haven't been watching the Pat McAfee show either.
Oh, I didn't even. Did Aaron Rodgers Tuesday happen?
I saw the clip got posted.
This Tuesday.
But I didn't watch it. Yeah.
I haven't seen it either. Oh, that's exciting! I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a live review to it. We'll go live on the YouTube channel.
All right, we're gonna not do that.
All right,
and we're gonna get into 15. Salvon Ahmed.
There's no K.
Dude, don't fucking question me, bro.
All right, my bad.
I looked up the phonetics, dog.
All right, man. My bad.
All right.
I'm not trying to come off as.
And I mentioned this. I'm just gonna ignore you. I mentioned this earlier. We're pussy, so we're gonna do / Matt Breida, because basically, if Matt Breida is back, I do believe he will take that starting role again. Salvon Ahmed looked very good, but he's still a rookie. The running backs coach said last week that he's very coachable, but he's not as far along as Myles Gaskin. So I don't think he has any potential to just completely take over that backfield or do anything crazy like that. I think if Matt Breida comes back, it's going to be his – If Matt Breida comes back, I think it's going to be his backfield for the taking. That being said, I liked him a lot. I started him this week. He won me my fantasy game. Ended up getting 85 yards on a good amount of carries. let me see. Let me double check. 21 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown. So very productive day. And just good to see the Dolphins winning, even without Fitzmagic.
It feels like too, it's like whatever running back is there, it's very predictable what their workload is going to be. You just plug in whatever Myles Gaskin's workload was, and that's exactly what Salvon had. And I think Savon?
Yeah.
No L.
Ahmed, yeah.
This name is confusing. It's not my name. I don't want to be, incorrect.
You are incorrect.
I know.
I called him Salvon Ahmed last week, so I was also wrong.
Okay, word.
But it's Savon Ahmed.
Savon Ahmed. All right. Anyways, him or Matt Breida, I think that they're going to get the same amount of workload. At 14, we had Todd, Jesus Christ had dreads, so shake 'em, Gurley, going up against the Saints. Do you know what song that's from?
No.
I can't remember what it is either.
Why would you say it? Why'd you ask me?
It's either, I think it's from like an E40 song, but I don't remember.
You're going to ask me and then expose me and yourself?
I don't know. I was asking, hoping that you would know.
Yeah, we'll go with E40.
It is an E4. It's from an E40 song. I just can't remember. I think it's from Tell Me When to Go. Yeah. Jesus Christ said it. Yeah.
Okay, nice. E40's a pimp.
Definitely. He also has his own line of alcoholic beverages called Slurricane.
That's some E40 shit for sure.
Yeah. They have like neon. They're like neon blue and shit.
Wow, the liquid?
Yeah.
That sounds like a bad time.
I think, and then he also has like a sweet tea one, which is the one that I'm interested in trying.
That sounds like a extreme Four Loko.
Sounds like a tummy ache if you ask
Bro,
me.
that reminds me of a crunk juice.
Crunk juice? Was that alcoholic?
I don't know. We were too young for that.
True. I think he had like whatever, bro.
I think we should get to the rankings.
Yeah. Todd Gurley at 14. Week in and week out, he's gotten volume. Not been incredibly productive, but has gotten touchdowns. I think you can kind of expect more of that in this divisional rivalry matchup against the Saints.
At 13, we have Ezekiel Elliot taking on the Vikings.
Your pick of the week?
Oh, not my pick of the week, but for Isaac, I hope he pops off every single week. I've never liked the Cowboys, but I feel so bad for Isaac every single week that I throw this man a bone. Look at all the carries he's getting.
He's getting all the carries, dog.
19 carries, 18 carries the past 2 weeks, and he's yet to break 9 points in the past 2 weeks. I think with Andy Dalton back, I think the offense is going to look better. I do think he will bounce back. I say this pretty much every week. The Vikings defense is tough, though. They just kind of put on a clinic against the Bears, although the Bears pretty shit. Let's be honest. The offense not looking good.
No, not at all.
But I do think Ezekiel Elliott is a good player. So somewhere in translation, it's been lost. I think it's a little bit of the O-line. It's a little bit of the quarterback. It's a little bit of Ezekiel Elliott being a sad boy.
Yeah.
But I think he can bounce back. He has the potential to. I hope this is his week, and I hope every time we look back, we're going to be like, oh, what a good time it was when Ezekiel Elliott used to suck.
Yeah, man.
What a good
Can't wait.
Oh, man, love it. I really hope that he does well, but I hope the Cowboys lose. Just makes me sleep better at night.
I feel that. America's team, though.
Not my America.
Damn, yeah, honestly. They kind of remind me of the Imperial Troopers in their vibe from Star Wars. Yeah, a little Star Wars reference. We're getting diverse today with the E40 and Star Wars references.
Nice, man.
At 12, we have Mike Davis. The past 4 weeks, 8.6, 8.7, 8.7, 8.4, respectively, fantasy output score. Does that make sense? Did the way I explain that make sense?
Dude, nothing you say makes sense.
I don't know. Hasn't scored over 9 fantasy points in the past 4 weeks. That's what's important. Obviously, last week, Christian McCaffrey was back. Or no, he wasn't. Against Kansas City, Christian McCaffrey was back. But without Christian McCaffrey, his work wasn't that much different.
They were playing the Bucs.
Let's
throw them a bone.
Yeah, we'll throw him a bone. Obviously, we know we have enough sample from Mike Davis to know what his ceiling is without Christian McCaffrey, and it's a very viable RB1, and with a pretty solid matchup against the Lions. I don't think it's that far out of the question to assume that's what you'll get this week out of Mike Davis.
Up next at number 11, we have James Conner taking on the Jags. Very solid matchup this week from a player who's been, or for a player who has just been honestly disappointing you these past 2 weeks. Dallas was a great matchup in week 9. He put up 4. I do think he'll bounce back this week against the Jags. They just honestly played well against the Packers, but I think that was more of a blip than anything. James Conner can be good. He hasn't shown you that recently, but I think this week is the week he bounces back, and you don't want to be the guy who has James Conner and you don't start him the week he drops 30.
You're probably starting James Conner anyways.
You don't have other options.
Yeah.
You put so much capital into that pick.
At 10, we have Miles Sanders, another pick that you probably use a lot of capital in, and we're disappointed, but purely because of injuries, I would say. Now that he's back, he was looking good against the Giants. 15 carries for 85 yards. So, I mean, like, nothing that'll blow your socks off.
He should have had a touchdown, but Corey Clement got in.
Yeah.
Poached that. And then Boston Scott broke off a huge one.
I don't think I saw that, but
Sad.
I'm not worried. Are you? Is it making you worry?
No. I think they were easing him back in too.
Yeah. So I think you got some good matchups down the road with Miles Sanders, and you're gonna reap the benefit of your draft pick with him.
At number 9, we have DeAndre Swift taking on the Carolina Panthers, coming off a really big week. 16 carries, 81 yards, 5 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. He has pretty much cemented himself a role on that offense. Every single week, he's been just performing better and better. Adrian Peterson and Kerryon Johnson have just been an afterthought. Neither of them saw 10% of snaps this game. So I think going forward, DeAndre Swift's stock is up. I like the Panthers matchup. It's a juicy one. You just keep throwing Swift in there. Keep open for the best.
He's come a long way.
Yeah.
Since week 1.
Oh, man.
Opinions have changed. They've shifted.
For me as well.
Yeah. At 8, we have Joshua Jacobs going against the Chiefs.
Oh, let me clarify my stats.
Go ahead, cuz.
They have not played over 15% of snaps.
Okay. So nothing to make you worry at all.
Yeah.
At 8, we have Josh Jacobs. Last time they played the Chiefs, Josh had 23 carries for 77 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's coming off of a really good week with 20-plus touches, over 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. A little involved in the passing game, too, which you'll love to see. I love the matchup against the Chiefs this week. I do feel like it's going to be a bit more of a competitive game, so I don't necessarily know that we see Josh Jacobs get the 20-plus carries, but hopefully he'll be using the passing game a little more. I think Josh Jacobs is finally starting to pick up steam towards the end of the season and at the perfect time.
100%. At number 7, we have Kareem Hunt taking on the Eagles. Who would have thought that him and Nick Chubb could coexist so wonderfully? And
we did.
Did we?
For fantasy football.
Yeah, that's true. But even in normal football, they looked amazing. They each ran for 100 yards. Kareem Hunt had 19 carries, 104 yards. Also added 3 catches for 28 yards. I think you can start both of them every single week. Be very pleased with it. I don't think we're going to see the rushing yardage from last week. I think that was very game script dependent because the weather was just so terrible in Cleveland. But this week against the Eagles, I think we can see something similar. I think Kareem Hunt will have more work in the passing game and just a great start overall. He looks so good when he runs. It's crazy. He's just barreling through people, getting first downs, making crazy catches.
Yeah. Nice hands.
Real
Nick
good
Chubb
hands.
looked good too.
Yeah, he did.
They both look good. So good. At 6, we have James Robinson going against the Steelers. A pretty tough matchup, but he's kind of just been matchup proof up until this point, I would say. I mean, he hasn't had like super tough matchups, but this will definitely be his most difficult matchup, I would say. But I mean, he's getting 20-plus carries the past 3 weeks, close to 100 yards in every single game. They'll use him in the passing game kind of inconsistently the past few weeks, but he was getting 4 to 5 catches each game. I think that he'll have the opportunity to get more involved in the passing game against the Steelers this week. His value obviously has not changed with Jake Luton under center. And yeah, your team's probably looking good if you got James Robinson. You scooped him off the waivers, and he's been an elite running back this entire season.
100%. At number 5, we have Aaron Jones taking on the Colts. Been putting up pretty decent numbers since he's returned, 12.9 and 14.5 fantasy points respectively. He's in that 12 to 15 range in carries, getting 5 catches these past 2 weeks apiece. I think you can see something similar here against the Colts. I think they're going to want to run the ball. Jamal Williams has definitely stepped up a little bit, showing that he can be versatile in the passing and catching game. So Aaron Jones has lost a little bit of the full workload, but he's still maintaining solid passing yardage and receiving yardage. Man, he's not passing the ball at all, is he?
Who is?
Aaron Jones. He's still maintaining good receiving and rushing yardage week in and week out. I think they're going to want to run the ball against the Colts to get that offense going, firing on all cylinders.
At 4, we have Derrick Henry. Tough matchup against the Ravens. It doesn't matter who Derrick Henry is going up against. You're playing him every single week, and you're just taking what you can get, which is 20 carries every single week. So that's plenty of opportunities. Derrick Henry's a monster of a man, and you just got to roll with the punches. This week, over or under 13 points for Derrick Henry?
Over.
Agreed.
At number 3, we have Nick Chubb taking on the Eagles. Talked about him earlier with Kareem Hunt. This guy's a beast. 19 carries, 126 yards, and a touchdown. A lot of that was on that very last play where he broke off a big one and then did the smart thing and ran out at the 1. Not great for fantasy. Really good for the Browns organization that they have a smart guy in Baker Mayfield who told him to do that. Did you see that?
Yeah, nice, bro.
Did you see that he said that?
No, I didn't.
Everybody was mad because he fucked up the over-under. So he came out with a quote saying, "In the huddle, Baker told me to do that." So I was like, you got to direct the blame.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love Nick Chubb, though, going forward. I think he's going to have another big week. I think he's just going to be eased back into that offense more and more, and they're going to be firing on all cylinders very soon.
At number 2, we have Dalvin Cook, who has just been on an absolute tear for fantasy since he came back from injury, prior to him going to injury, for a matter of fact. But he's come back with a vengeance from this injury. Great matchup against a really weak Cowboys defense. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about Dalvin Cook.
Nice. At number 1, we got the boy, the steeziest in the league, Alvin Kamara, taking on the Falcons. He's the best running back in the league. He's the best wide receiver in the league. He's probably one of the best players in the league.
That's actually not true about him being the best wide receiver. I think he is like top 20 though.
No, he's not actually. Not statistically at least. But yeah, he's a monster. I think with Jameis out, they're going to be looking to get him the ball even more. So congratulations.
Thanks for checking out this video. If you have any issue with where we put any of these players or who we put on this list, go ahead and let us know in the comments. We can handle the heat, and we will not get out of the kitchen.
Bully us if you'd like. We're ready.
We can handle it. We're tough boys, but we are so desperate for approval. Hence the YouTube channel.